have been in the mind of a genius. It's crazy. I got some good stuff I'm going to share with you guys. So here's what I found. Have you ever heard of the phrase or the book called spin selling? Have you ever heard of spin selling? So what is spin selling? Well, if you've been in network marketing for any length of time, or you've been in sales for any length of time, you know, it's very, very interesting because, you know, selling is one of those things that we are told that we should learn how to do. We got to get good at closing. We got to get good at connecting, all of that kind of jazz. Have you heard of this before? So I am a huge, huge Audible fan. And so I was on there and I have many books that I've purchased that I still need to go through. And I'm just scrolling through and I happen to see this one called Spin Selling. And it was really quite interesting, quite paradoxical. Like, it was completely the opposite of anything I've ever heard on selling before, on a couple of different things. Now, this is a 6-hour book. I probably went through maybe 2 hours of it. So obviously I can't give you everything, but here was the biggest aha moment I had. 2 things. Number one, the harder you close in bigger transactions or things where you're gonna have an ongoing relationship with people, the less they actually want to join, the less they actually want to partner with you. Now, I don't know if you've ever heard that before, because we've heard this phrase, always be closing, right? The ABCs of selling, the ABCs of network marketing, always be closing. Well, the truth of the matter is that's not entirely true. So this spin selling book was a book basically that documented 12 years of research, and they went on, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of sales calls. And the guy was super analytical. He broke it up into a couple of categories. But that was the first aha, is that, you know, when you have something, if you're gonna make a quick sale, like, okay, here we have a restaurant, we have a little convenient area, there's some alcohol for sale if you want some of that. When you have something small and simple like that, it doesn't take much. Somebody could do closing techniques, somebody could push, and you're like, whatever, I'm just, give me it and I wanna go, right? But when you have something like what we have in network marketing, a relationship is being built afterwards. So it's not something where you can twist somebody's arm into it. It's something where you actually develop a relationship with them, because when they say yes, when they get started, when they say, okay, let's do this, that's actually where the relationship starts. When you close a sale is where everything actually begins. And so just kind of knowing that in your own mind, that, you know, however you're coming across when you're talking to prospects is really, really important, because if you're coming across in a way that's pushy or overbearing or too strong, too much, which nobody likes to be like that anyways, right? That has a tendency to repel people if we get our super salesy face on and go to work. But when you're authentic and genuine and you try to connect, that goes so much further. The second thing I picked up was basically that the people that had the greatest success in their sales calls, like I said, they tracked hundreds of thousands of sales calls. The people that had the greatest success in their sales calls were people that did really, really well in discovering needs. What does that mean exactly? Well, oftentimes when we're out there and we're talking to people about what we have, you know, being our product, be it our opportunity, we're super pumped, we're super excited, we're like, let me show you. And that's not really what goes over the furthest. Why? Because we are doing all the talking. And when we're doing all the talking, then that means the prospect is not really sharing what's important to them. And so the people that win, the people that get to the finish line, the people that get more people to come to a yes decision are people that are really, really awesome at asking the right questions, and their questions around their needs. So what's an example of this for what we do? So let's say you have someone and you're like, hey, you ask them, you know, if they're open, right? Hey, do you happen to keep your options open for other ways of making money outside of what you're doing right now? They're like, yeah, I am. You're like, okay, cool. Well, I'm just curious, you know, why is it that you're open at this time in your life? So that was like a probing question. That was a curiosity question. That was a question that will reveal the need. Now, we ask them a simple question like, well, I'm just curious, why is it that you're open right now? And they tell us all the little nitty-gritty details. Like, you know what? In the past, maybe not so much, but a lot of things have changed in my life, and actually I may be getting downsized at work, or I was thinking I might have to get a second job, or whatever. They will share the goods with you. And that is fabulous, because you have tons of ammo when you go in to meet with them. So that was a big aha for me. I kind of knew a lot about that. I kind of did some of that intuitively, and you may be doing that intuitively as well. But sometimes when you go from your subconscious into your conscious, like, oh, this is why this works, and this is how you can actually share with more people in your team this concept, this idea, this philosophy, so that they can start doing it as well. You with me? So that's the first thing. Here's another idea. So let's say you have somebody and they have seen your presentation, you showed them everything, they're like totally down with it. So what happens then? Okay, so we have some questions that we need to go through with them, some kind of like a sequence of what will help make this a positive outcome for you and for them, right? Because nobody wants to be twisted their arm into it, and you don't really want somebody like that in your team anyways. So here's what I would usually say. So they see it, the first question out of my mouth, always is, what did you like best about what you saw? What did you like best about what you saw? And they'll tell you. And sometimes you do have to help them out. You're like, oh, well, was it the product? Was it the business? Was it, the ability to work for yourself? What was it, right? And you have to help them a little bit sometimes and get them talking. But then once they get going, then you kind of are on a roll. The second thing that you can say is, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that. Really? Okay. So why is it that, that this got your attention with, having a side project that you could work on and make some extra money? Tell me more about that. And then they'll tell you more, right? The third thing I'll usually say is, so, after I get them talking for a little while, so what do you see in this for yourself? What do you see in this for yourself? And they'll tell you, hey, you know what? I'm at a spot in my life where this looks like it could be a perfect fit. I'm sick of waking up to an alarm clock. I'm sick of working for the man. I'm sick of making everybody else's dreams come to pass except my own, right? They'll tell you. Or maybe you have a product that they're very interested in your product, whether it's a water system, whether it's travel, whether it's health, whether it's skincare, whether it's hair products, whatever it is, right? So they'll tell you. Then a very, very simple thing that you can do is just say, okay, perfect. Well, then based on what you've shared with me, the next step is. And just share with them the next step. Hey, the next step is, let's get you set up. Where do you want your product getting shipped out to? We'll set up a time that we can meet and get you up and rolling. Just tell them what the next step is. And what's nice about that is it's not salesy at all, because they've told you all the reasons why they like what you have. They told you what they see in it for themselves. They told you what they're excited about, and now you're just saying the next step is. So, guys, I have got to scoot, but it's been so great spending time with you. One of the things that oftentimes people will share with me is that they're at a spot in their business where they do want to go to the next level. We're ready to have more people join the team. We're ready to have, rank on up, earn them bonus checks, take a free trip, get a bonus car, whatever the case may be. If that's you, and you're in a spot in your life where you're like, yeah, I like this, I learned something, and I am ready to go to the next level, then I have an extra bonus training that will help you out. I'm gonna drop the link here in the description, but it's called the 10 steps. And the 10 steps are really all about you clearing out some of the things of the past that have maybe been holding you back, and focusing in, harnessing in on what it's going to really take to get you to the finish line so that you can receive your breakthrough. You can be in the top income earners in your company. So that's my free gift to you guys. I got to scoot, my plane is boarding. So I will see you all next time, but I will drop that link there, and definitely feel free to tag or share if you got some value out of this. Let me know what impacted you. Was this an aha moment for you, just like it was for me, where I was like, holy smokes, this guy he knows what he's talking about, and he has so much data to back it up. So this was big learning discovery for me. So I hope you enjoyed it. Take care, be blessed, and I'll see y'all next time. For more great training and to receive your free bonus training, the 10-step process for getting out of your own way and finally rank advancing, visit summerjeronimo.com.